Meanwhile, back at the good old days.
And now the 40s.
Yes, and 1940 saw the dawn of a bright new era, ushered in with Guy Lombardo playing the immortal Auld Lang Syne.
Great songs filled those years.
I left my heart at the stage door canteen, and every sailor knows just what that means. A sailor boy without a heart has 2 strikes on him from the start, and my heart at the stage door canteen.
Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me.
Anyone else but me?
Anyone else but me. No, no, no.
Don't sit under the
apple tree with anyone else but me.
Till I come marching home.
Well, naturally, the war dominated the events during the 40s.
That's right, when the efficiency and precision of the United States military machine reached its peak.
Now, Sergeant, I hope you assigned all the new inductees to their new jobs in the Army.
Oh, yes, sir, I did.
Good. Well, I hope you assigned each one to something related to what they did in civilian life.
Oh, yes, sir, I did.
Excellent. Now, let's see here. Oh, I see you interviewed a pediatrician. Where'd you put him?
Well, sir, I know a pediatrician takes care of feet, so I put him in infantry.
I see. And this one, he was a lifeguard.
Well, I put him in the motor pool.
Motor pool. And this man, he was a bricklayer.
Oh, yes, sir, that bricklayer will be right at home. I put him in the mortar crew.
Of all the imbecilic, moronic... What did an idiot like you do before the war, Sergeant?
Sir, before the war, I was a sergeant in the Army.
Well, maybe the 40s weren't exactly the good old days, but what about the 50s?
Of course, the 50s saw the dawn of a new era, ushered in with Guy Lombardo playing the immortal Auld Lang Syne.
And there were really great songs then, boy.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog around town. You ain't nothing but a hound dog around town. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit, ain't no friend of mine.
You know what, Goldie?
What?
The 50s saw the first transplants.
Well, is that anything like an eggplant?
You know it isn't, you silly blonde lady. I'll tell you what, though. The 50s, during that time, the Russian surgeons transplanted a dog's head, creating the world's largest 2-headed dog.
Thus, you see, Dr. Visarovich, we have taken this normal dog and grafted it onto a second head. When one head eats, the other will not even know when it's being fed.
Gee, that seems like a lot of trouble to go through just to fool another dog.
Go to Siberia.
Well, maybe the 50s weren't exactly the good old days, but what about 60s?
Aha! The 60s were ushered in by Guy Lombardo
Playing the immortal Auld Lang Syne. And the 60s brought a whole new sound in popular music, the excitement of the big beat.
Oh.
song has a familiar ring to it.
Well, maybe you heard it somewhere. Say, do you realize that after next year they'll be calling the 60s the good old days?
Now, what's so good about the 60s?
Are you kidding? We had bikinis, mini skirts, see-through dresses, topless waitresses. Things never looked better.
And that makes the 60s great.
Well, it beats the 50s. At least we don't have a war in Korea.
No, but we got a war in Vietnam.
All right, but compared to the 40s, we don't have World War II.
No, but we got a war in Vietnam.
Okay, but what about the 30s after the Depression? Nobody had any money left.
And in the 60s, after taxes, nobody had any money left.
Well, then look at the 20s. Organized crime, gang wars. Nobody was safe on the streets.
Look at the 60s. Riots and muggings. Nobody's safe in the streets.
Well, when do we get the good old days?
Beats me, pal. Hey, maybe next year.
Hey, wait a minute. I just figured out how to make the 70s the good old days.
How's that?
We got to get rid of Guy Lombardo with that old lang syne every year. That's where the trouble starts.
Whacker, I think you're onto something.